Hello to all Cinemaster lovers. Hope you enjoy watching. Let's get started. The story starts with Jennifer, the late stayer at the office on a quiet Friday night. She's planning to catch a plane to New York for a long weekend to see her ex-fiancé on Valentine's Day. With a sigh, she drafts a heartfelt email, hesitant yet hopeful, and clicks send. Determined not to miss her flight, she grabs some candy as a quick snack and heads for the elevator. Meanwhile, in another part of the office, Guy is also wrapping up his day. A casual, upbeat energy follows him as he shoulders his bag and heads toward the same elevator. Fate intervenes as the two strangers find themselves waiting together. Jennifer steps into the elevator on the 49th floor, her thoughts preoccupied. Moments later, Guy enters from the 42nd floor, his cheerful demeanor starkly contrasting Jennifer's quiet reservation. The elevator hums as it descends, until it doesn't. Without warning, it shudders to a stop, plunging Jennifer and Guy into an unnerving silence. Guy, the eternal optimist, fumbles with the buttons and the emergency alarm, but the machine stubbornly resists. Jennifer's annoyance grows as Guy tries to lighten the mood with jokes, her mind racing with the realization that she's now stuck underground with no cell service and zero control over her schedule. Tension creeps in as their efforts to call for help yield nothing. Jennifer eyes the surveillance camera, her glare practically begging for a sign of life from the building's security team, but there's no response, just the eerie hum of the overhead lights. The minutes stretch painfully. Guy suggests looking for an escape hatch. Jennifer, reluctantly taking charge, awkwardly climbs onto his shoulders to investigate. The hatch doesn't budge, and a painful scrape on her hand forces her to abandon the attempt. She winces as Guy helps her down, his attempt at a reassuring joke falling flat. As an hour ticks by, Jennifer's frustration boils over. Missing her flight now feels inevitable, and she lets out a string of curses, blaming the elevator, the building, and even fate itself. Guy, unshaken, continues trying to diffuse the tension with lighthearted quips. Slowly, the walls of formality between them begin to crack. They finally exchange names and their conversation shifts to light banter, a spark of camaraderie in the confined space. The mood lightens slightly as Jennifer grumbles about the waterless thermos she'd carried. Guy, ever the gentleman, offers his bottle of water, casually joking about cracking open the bottle of wine he happened to have with him instead. They laugh at the irony of both carrying bottle openers in their bags, their mutual amusement cutting through the frustration of their predicament. Though the wine remains unopened, Jennifer gratefully accepts the water, her mood softening. In return, she shares her candy, a small but meaningful gesture that seals a fragile truce between the two. Jennifer starts to feel the gravity of their situation and suggests they ration their snacks, joking nervously about being stuck until Tuesday. As the hours drag on, her discomfort grows, not just from hunger but from the very human problem of needing to pee. Too embarrassed to go in front of Guy, she hesitates until he gently suggests she use the corner or her thermos. Reluctantly, she agrees, but makes him promise to close his eyes and cover his ears. To make her feel less awkward, Guy starts singing a ridiculous tune, and Jennifer finally handles the situation. Trying to lighten the mood, Jennifer doodles on the elevator walls, and soon they fall into a rhythm of conversation, playing games and sharing personal stories. Guy reveals he's a workaholic, with no one waiting for him, a sentiment Jennifer can relate to. She opens up about her trip to New York, admitting it was meant to surprise her ex, though she's unsure if he even wanted her to come. Their vulnerability deepens their connection, and Guy decides it's the perfect time to crack open the wine. They toast to being alive, their laughter echoing in the confined space. The mood grows lighter as they begin drawing each other. Jennifer giggles at Guy's overly serious attempt at her portrait, while her own caricature of him is hilariously unflattering. She apologizes, snapping a picture of his drawing and teasingly promising to make it her profile photo, if they survive. Their growing closeness is interrupted only by their gnawing hunger. She asks him to change the subject. He suggests different topics, and she picks talking about making love. She gets up, turns her camera on him, and asks about the dirtiest place he's made love. The guy is a little shy, so she shares her story first. Jennifer tells him about one of her ex-boyfriends in college and the time they slept together in a library. When it's the guy's turn, he still doesn't feel like sharing his story because he doesn't think he has an interesting one. Jennifer tells him to make one up. So, the guy tells a story about a hot girl who wanted to be with him during a work picnic. He says that they got drunk, got in the car, and she began to undress while he was driving. Guy gets weird and uncomfortable again, telling Jennifer that he got aroused and had to stop. He apologizes because he thinks he crossed a line, but she says that it's cool. Jennifer tells him that she wants to get back together with her ex. That was the reason why she wanted to go to New York and surprise him, to patch things up and make everything better. Jennifer tries to keep her cool and makes it clear to Guy that while their time together has been fun, She doesn't see it going beyond this moment. She explains that her feelings for her ex are still strong and that what they had was real. Guy looks hurt but tries to argue that they've formed a connection, something genuine, and that her ex doesn't deserve her. This only frustrates Jennifer more because she knows how she feels. She snaps at him, saying that once they're out of the elevator, their lives will go back to normal, and they'll never see each other again. Guy refuses to back down, insisting they're meant to be together. His desperation starts to show and he begins to cry, overwhelmed by the rejection and isolation. Jennifer feels a strange tension in the air as something inside him seems to shift. Suddenly, his demeanor changes, and he starts telling her the truth she wasn't ready for. Guy admits he lied about who he was, even about his name. He tells her his real name is John, and that he didn't just casually notice her before. They worked in the same building, and he saw her every single day. The man tells her that he didn't just notice her, but that he actually saw her every single day at work. He takes out his phone and shows Jennifer's security photos he has on it, of her listing out the times and dates. When it was the guy even has a video of her getting into the elevator that night, Jennifer is afraid he tells her that he's actually the building's security guard and gets angry when he explains that no one ever notices people like him. She didn't even recognize him. Even though he works at the front desk, he thinks that he knows her more than her ex and tells her that he planned everything that happened that night. The man takes out a key and unblocks the elevator. Jennifer can't believe what he did to her and says that she'll call the cops and that he'll rot in jail. He doesn't like that, so he grabs her and they begin to struggle, flailing her legs. During the fight, Jennifer breaks the elevator key. They continue to fight, and she knocks him out with her shoe. Jennifer is afraid that she killed him, so she approaches him to check when he suddenly jumps up and knocks her down. They both remain unconscious in the elevator. After a while, Jennifer wakes to find the man conscious. Already, she asks him why he did it. His reasoning is that he wanted to get her away from everything so that they could connect on a human level. He says that they didn't just have a date, but an entire relationship in the weekend stuck in the elevator. Jennifer thinks that he's not going to get away with it, because someone will surely come to get them out. Unfortunately, she finds out that the guy has taken all the shifts for the weekend, and the two other guards won't be coming in until the extended weekend is over on Tuesday. Jennifer asks what he'll do, and he says that he would rather kill her than go back to prison. He says that he never forced her to do anything, but Jennifer tells him that he kidnapped her. That sends him into a rage spiral. When he calms down, he opens the present that Jennifer had bought for her ex-fiancé. He finds a shirt and a box in the bag. The guy puts the shirt on and tells Jennifer to open the rest of the present. Jennifer opens the box to reveal cigars, complete with the necessary tools like the cigar scissors and lighter. He lights a cigar and taunts Jennifer further, even saying that she could have gotten her ex back with all the nice gifts in a gust of irony. He wishes her a happy Valentine's Day. Sometime later, the guy apologizes to Jennifer for scaring her and asks her if they can reconcile. He asks for another chance and tells her that she doesn't have to answer right away. But to think about it, the guy comments on the travel ad that's playing in the elevator, saying that the people in the video look happy together. He tells Jennifer that he'll take her to the resort from the ad. One day, he's bothered by the neon light in the elevator that isn't working, so he breaks it with Jennifer's thermos. The guy realizes that the light bulbs under the ceiling panels must get replaced sometime. He thinks that he can get that panel off and get out of the elevator, though there as he breaks it open. With the thermos, Jennifer stands up next to him. He asks Jennifer to give him a boost to get up there, promising that he'll come back for her. However, Jennifer thinks it would be easier if he gives her a boost because she doesn't have enough strength to do it. He doubts that she'll want to come back for him, and she'll call the cops. Jennifer tells him everything that he wants to hear and convinces him to give her the boost. After everything that we've been through, I don't want you to go to jail. She gets on his shoulders and pulls out of the elevator. The guy tells her where the ladder and the door are happy, that they finally managed to escape. Jennifer turns around and gives him the finger, pissing him off as she climbs the ladder. He finds a way to get out of the elevator too. The guy binds two pieces of clothing together and throws them over the elevator beam. Jennifer is already moving towards the door as he starts climbing up. He tells her that she'd better run because now she's gonna die. Jennifer gets close to the door when he already reaches the level she's on and follows her. She opens the door and screams for help. Then he suddenly grabs her and hurls both of them back in the elevator. They both fall unconscious. Jennifer wakes up first to see the fire sprinklers still running and comes up with a plan. She tries to trigger the fire alarm by lighting a cigar, but when that doesn't work, she starts a small fire instead. Smoke fills the elevator, waking Guy, who she now knows as John. Acting fast, Jennifer punches him, breaking his nose and uses a piece of clothing to restrain him. John, angry and panicking, warns her that the fire alarm won't help. They'll just get soaked and possibly electrocuted. Jennifer doesn't back down. She threatens him, forcing him to confess to everything he's done. She turns on her camera and records herself explaining what she knows, then points it at John, demanding answers. Under pressure, John reveals his real name, John Deacons. He admits that he trapped her in the elevator on purpose. On Friday, while she wasn't looking, He used his key to stop it. He even etched their drawings on the wall earlier to make it seem more casual. Jennifer makes him confess to the camera that he kidnapped her, recounting how he hit her head and threw her against the wall during their earlier struggle. When Jennifer asks why, John says he just wanted a date with her, believing she would have rejected him otherwise. He opens up about his past, saying he was once a successful accountant at a big firm. His story about the girl in the car was true, but the ending was darker.